Yeah, we just got here. Coming in now.
Nice, dude. Was that a turkey? Just fold it over and it's dead. It's that easy?
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go. Owen, you're up.
My foot wasn't over the line. Mark an 8, dude.
This is bowling. There are rules. I'm not counting it. Dude, I'm telling you, I bowled a perfect game.
There's no way, man. I've seen you bowl gutter balls all the time.
Welcome to Drones, Brothers, and Booze with Doug Ziegler again. Hello, welcome back.
Thanks, man. How's things? That was an awesome
Great.
video, by the way.
Yeah, Joel mentioned that last week. I had seen it before, but yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. Apparently they tried that, like, that was like their 9th or 10th try to finally, but still, only that many tries to do that. That's pretty fucking impressive.
Wow. Look, cool. I'm getting the delivery here. Look at this. Pizza, chicken, bacon, ranch pizza. How am I going to fit this in? I'm not sure. But anyway, what are you drinking? Nice to see you.
Yeah. Thanks, man. So I'm going to start off with a hazy IPA. Brotato from Lucky Hair.
I'm always suspect when you start off with an IPA.
Well, that's what's at the brewery. Like, I managed to stop at like their tap house in Ithaca when I was up there to pick up my stuff for work. So this is 6.6 hazy IPA. Lucky Hair is this was made with El Dorado and Idaho 7 hops. I'm not sure I know what Idaho 7 hops is, but
Neither do I.
nice and citrusy on the nose, though. That's for damn sure. Looks the part.
It looks the part.
Yeah, that's definitely hazy. Definitely got that. The citrus is more in the nose than it is on the mouth feel, but yeah, nice little hop finish. You'd probably really like this one. It's good. It's just not. You like more. You're more of a hop head on it than I am. So.
Oh yeah. We already know. I'm having a Hacienda beer. I don't know if the reflection is going to let me do this. I've lost interest. I don't know. They've lost interest. It's a pale ale with Citra and Mosaic hops. Right up my alley. Those are two of my favorites. Two of many people's favorites, but I love the mix between them, the fruit that it gives out, and so yeah. Yeah, we missed you, man. How you feeling?
Excellent. I had the second dose. I was actually feeling okay Friday night. I was a little tired, but then Saturday I woke up and I was a little achy, and then about noon or so I spiked a fever, and then it calmed down, and then later at night I spiked a fever, and I was sweating like a maniac overnight, and then the next morning I was fine. So
yeah, it wouldn't have been. We went long on the post production. It wouldn't have been good. It wouldn't.
No, I actually I was watching, and then I just got to a point where I was just really tired, and I was like, you know what, I can catch it later if I want to watch it later. So seems like you guys had a pretty good night.
I was on my 5th beer when we shut it down, and everybody thought it was hilarious. I think I went on to have 2 more. So, but without further ado, we're going to bring on our guests. Highly anticipated guest, our friend Tiffany Martin, Canadian blogger, big the tournament person, because if you say March Madness, people get mad or something. I don't know if you've seen that. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. And
They're cracking down
I
on
don't
it.
think I need to.
No, it's a whole bunch of. I mean, come on, you want us to promote your thing, but you don't want to say March Madness, so it's kind of silly. But the tournament's not silly, and I remember Tiffany was here last year, the same week, and you guys were lamenting about how it wasn't cool that we didn't have it. So now that we have it back, I'm just wondering how you guys are feeling. So we're just going to bring her on, and we're going to find out. What's up, Tiff?
It's gone from March Sadness to March Madness. Woo!
There you go.
Woo, baby.
There you go.
We're back.
And you're Canadian, so they have to go up there to catch you to say March Madness. So that's it.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it either, but I'm not looking. I'm not looking. And it's on the court. They've written it on the center court. I'm sticking with it. It's what it is. It's what I remember from my childhood. In Idaho 7, it is named after the home state, and it's a late maturing aroma hop. You're gonna get juicy and stone fruit off it. There you go. Lucky Hair is a great place.
You've had Lucky Hair?
Your earlier conversation. Yes, we were there 2019, maybe 2018.
Well, you were literally an hour and 15 minutes from my house.
Well, I can't wait. We are
If you
counting
can
the
get
days.
down this way again, we're going.
Yeah, certainly counting the days to get back out there. It's a rad spot.
What's in the glass?
What is in the glass? I got a special one here tonight. So this is actually a collab. As you know, I run a women's beer group, but there's one that's been longer running here and does a fantastic job at Guelph, Ontario. They're called Queen of Craft. And this is actually a collab between them and Elora Brewing out of Elora, Ontario, which isn't too far from me. And it's called Queen of the Quarry. And it's actually really nice. It's quite soft. It's a green tea latte pale ale. So we're not getting too much bitterness. It's nice and soft. And you're almost getting that latte, like almost like a matcha. I'm wondering if they have some matcha tea in there. And I love that it says best served with support, integrity, equality, and greatness. So it's a great group of women that do wonderful, wonderful things. And actually every March every weekend they run their events. So again, as of this year, they've been running them virtually too, but they raise a lot of great money for local foundations, a lot of things to do with women. And this is quite a nice beer. It's very different. It's not overly dry for the green tea. I'm still getting some sweetness in there. So I'm wondering with the latte, if maybe they've added some lactose as people do. There's not too many ingredients on here, but
yeah,
it's quite different. It's really nice, refreshing, soft.
I really dig as we all know, I'm a label nerd, so I really dig the can art is fabulous on that.
Yeah, the Elora Gorge is a really cool place, and just Queen of the Quarry. So I believe that's kind of a reference to the location of Elora Brewing, and then obviously the Queens, Queens of Craft, wonderful, wonderful people.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you said it's a collab, and that has come from your beer group, or is it just?
No, so I don't run that beer group, but I participate in the shenanigans when I can. So I run a separate one down here that's a little bit smaller scale. These guys have been doing stuff for a long time, but they would have probably brewed with Elora for their events in March, is what I'm guessing with timing of this. And I'm actually drinking a fresh beer tonight. I've got a lot of old beer in the fridge, and I've got a few freshies. So this is one of the fresh ones I'll be digging into tonight.
Yeah, because I tend to drink the darker stuff. A lot of my stuff that's in the fridge for a while doesn't matter.
Yes,
it's true. But when you get stuff like that, you kind of got to get on it fast. I got I think 2 weeks ago, and this isn't oxidized? Am I saying
oxidized?
Yeah, it's not, and it was canned on the 1st of December. So,
so it's held.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that it wasn't. So, because you could taste that, it gets like malty right away, and that's not what this is.
Yeah, and like that little bit of that cardboard, they sort of say. But I've been surprised of some beers that I've had that I've found. Like I'm never intentionally aging things that shouldn't be aged, but you do. Things get lost and moved around, and I've been surprised sometimes where I'm like, oh, this is actually aged pretty well for that style. I mean, not to say everything has, and other things I'm like, oh, it hasn't. It's lots dropped off, but it's still beer.
Or you are like me and don't look at the dates on cans when you buy stuff. I do that. So
it's a newer habit that I've tried to develop, and I think a lot more people are a bit more consistent at what they write, because sometimes they write different dates too, right? They're writing like Best Buy or when it was brewed. So you have to like kind of play that game a little bit too. I don't know. I'm not one to to necessarily drain pour a 6-month-old beer, but you never know. It's always best to drink fresh.
Drank fresh.
Yeah. So how are you guys doing? I miss you.
Yeah, likewise.
Oh. Thanks
Oh,
for having me back. I was hoping Casey would be here too, because I haven't really chit-chatted with him, but I should make an effort to see him because he is only like half an hour from me. 45 minutes, maybe an hour on traffic.
Yeah.
yeah. Casey's in and out. We get him when we can.
Right. Nice.
He's a busy man. So
High paying Canadians.
Right.
Pay him a lot of money to be here.
So Tiffany, do you have any relation to that video that we just played?
No, sorry. I thought I did. I was so Bernie has been doing. He does drone stuff. He used to do drone stuff a lot more for movies and stuff, and then he doesn't do it as much, but every once in a while he's called in because they need an extra hand at doing stuff. So the last shoot that he did, it was a lot of FPV stuff like that. So the other day he showed me that, and I had mistaken that it was his friend that shot that. But then when I called him, he was like, no. That's not. But his other friend is like an incredible flyer, and this whole FPV stuff's pretty badass. So I did see that video. I mistakenly was like, I think my friend shot that, but I was lying.
Yeah, it was really cool. And NTX Beer says, our friend Jerry, more than the video is the sound. I don't know if you saw the sound kept going in and you could hear the people, and then it would go out, and then it was really amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that because I was kind of freaking out and yelling. But then you're right; it is neat to hear. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, where is this thing here? We can at least play a little faster.
Can you play more? I'm also like concerned that you're going to get shut down because you're playing it on Facebook and it's a viral video. But you weren't concerned about that. You don't want to like lose the stream.
Good night.
We get yelled at.
Cool.
I just got your coming in now.
You get the volleyball here.
I like miss the days I could stick my fingers in strange holes and then like
Was that a turkey?
right after and not get yelled at.
The precision it takes to like fly that drone through all these little tiny nooks.
This is cool. Behind the scenes.
Right here.
I could almost smell it.
He's doing the like Kingpin that they did that in.
His ball like that one show. He's like,
Wasn't that in Kingpin they did that, I think?
Just fold it over and it's not easy.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go. Oh, and you're up.
My foot wasn't over the line. Marketing, dude.
This is bowling.
Right.
There are rules. I'm not counting it.
that's funny. They've done sound work there though too.
I'm telling you, I bowled a perfect game.
There's no way, man. I've seen you bowl
Or they've
gutter
set that
balls
up
all the
to be
time.
funny conversation.
Right.
That's
It's
funny.
really,
Okay.
yeah, and especially how they caught the music too. I mean, and lights. It was it's fantastic. Wonderful. So, what have you been up to? We have March Madness. So, are your teams in? Who they're playing? What's going on?
Yeah, so
Okay.
again, remembering that I'm kind of like this. I might talk a big game, but I probably don't know as much as you guys. I feel like there's still a disconnect from being Canadian and not kind of living amongst it as sports and things go from country to country. But you know what? I always have trouble. This might sound weird, but having a team every year, like I have such strong memories. I was always Michigan, like Bleed Blue when I was a kid, because I was like part of that whole like Fab Five era and like the wonderful glory days of Michigan. So I've always been like kind of a Michigan fan, but then I also love my Michigan State, which I don't know if that's like a rivalry thing, but because I'm a big Magic fan, like it just kind of was hand in hand. So those are kind of always my base ones. But I'm also like, I just love kind of letting the tournament get into it. And then as you get down, like I love seeing the upsets and I love picking kind of almost a different team as I go each year. So it's not to say that I'm necessarily stuck to someone. Like, I mean, every year I'm going to say Michigan from the start and hope that they make it. But I'm always about just the whole Cinderella story as a lot of people are, and just the, you know, seeing those upsets and people's like brackets broken. And I think Doug's was broken today. Mine was already broken.
Yep.
Like, you know, you have 68 teams and how do you even know, like, it's like one of the greatest puzzles of all time for them to even make that bracket. Like the science behind that alone is like so intense that you don't understand. And then everyone's just like, bah, like first day you're like, so it's always like the person again, who doesn't know much that you just randomly pick, you know, at the office to win. But yeah, so I'd say I'm always rooting for Michigan. That's my thing, but I kind of just love it as a whole. I love the heart behind it. I know The game's always changing. There's always a bit more involved than just heart, but like I just love that behind. I think they're just true athletes, those kids too, and it's always been a big part of my childhood, watching with my dad. And even my mom was texting yesterday, like, are you watching the basketball? Like excited to watch. She was watching the first set of games, or the 4, whatever they call that. And
Yeah, it's playing.
mom's rooting for North Carolina. I don't know what my dad's team is. I feel like I'm gonna have to ask him. I feel like I don't know what dad's team was. Mom's always cheering for North Carolina, but I remember that from when I was a kid too. So I think it's more tradition than anything.
Yeah, UNC just got popped. They lost.
Badgers?
Shit.
Yeah.
Was that the Badgers, Doug?
Yes, it was the Badgers who beat them.
Oh, Wisconsin.
Wow. All right.
Hey,
I was
Wisconsin,
almost gonna like say to cheer for them just for Dan. I don't know if Dan's watching, but I was like, oh, Wisconsin's in this. Like, are they usually in the tournament? I don't know.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Their mainstay. Mhm.
they Wisconsin holds a special place in my shit list for ruining the only possible undefeated team until this year that we could have seen when they beat Kentucky in the national semifinals, which was my team. Kentucky's my squad. And they were fucking awful this year. They weren't even 500. I think they won 9 games. They were terrible this year. Yeah, that just doesn't happen. So,
Doug, what do you do then? You know, are you like Tiffany? Will you get a bandwagon and jump on it and have fun and, you know, just roll with it?
Or are you angry, Doug? Is Doug angry?
no. Kentucky was so bad this year that I would watch them and I would just be like, okay, well, they're just not there.
Trash. They're just trash.
Not their year. There's some teams I liked. I really liked Tennessee going into the tournament, and they lost today. So I had them going a couple of rounds, so that didn't help.
You had Ohio State, didn't you?
I did. I had them going into the Final Four. That didn't help my bracket at all. That served me right for liking Ohio State for any damn thing, those bastards. So
I feel like I have a lot of friends like Angry Doug, Bernie saying Angry Doug. I feel like I have a lot of friends that just like to see Ohio State lose. I want to hear more of the stories beyond. I don't know why. Is that like a common thing or? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, in America, Tiffany, I don't know if you know, like there's a I don't know, is it dichotomy is the word? There's a I forget I don't know what the word is. Doug is better at words than me. He's a writer. So you tell me what I meant after I say it. But there's a situation in America where you don't necessarily have to root for teams. You can just root against teams.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, you'll just find out a whole bunch. Like, I don't like Ohio State, so whenever I can root against them, I do. And then football, basketball doesn't matter. My reason is because I come from Pennsylvania and I just grew up disliking Ohio State. Somehow I became a Browns fan. Don't talk about that. It'll take an hour for that shit to just forget it. But the point is that we find teams to hate, I think, almost more than we find teams to root for. I think Americans are like generally like, you pick one team, you're not allowed to pick another team. Like that's how we kind of like roll. So then what happens is we pick one team to like. That's why I was like nervous about tonight. Yeah, we pick one team to like and then 7 to hate is how I think it works.
Yeah.
What do you say, Doug?
I hate that mentality. Like
what mentality?
The mentality where you got to pick one team and you got to freaking stick with them, and that's your squad for life.
That's America.
Well, it's like Aaron Gouveia is fucking stuck with the Patriots and the Celtics. And,
and
Red Sox.
Despise the Patriots and I despise Green Bay. Those are my despisable football teams.
Oh,
Green Bay! Whoa.
Okay.
Sorry, those are big words. I'm gonna use the viewers just dropped off by a lot. Oh,
yeah,
I get angry.
I do have some teams that I just generally don't like. I don't weirdly when in college basketball it's mostly due to coaches. I really, really dislike Carolina because I think Roy Williams. Oh God,
See, so back in the day, it was that nice old gentleman. I should probably.
Yeah, well, he does that. Oh golly gee, Willikers. Oh darn it! And I'm just like,
no,
take that shtick out of here, dude.
That's funny. Well, on one more note, I was hoping so Colgate was in the final or in the bracket. So
Yeah.
my best friend since kindergarten, Louisa, her brother went to Colgate on a swimming scholarship back in the day. So it was this weird recognition. So I was like, oh, I want them to be my underdog team because they were kind of like the mystery squad too, and they sort of had a little bit of a record and nothing. But anyways, they got smushed today. So though there goes me hoping that they were gonna like be those people this year that kind of.
Yeah, but they were ahead really early on in that game. I mean, they were just taking it to was it Arkansas? And they were taking it to them, and then Arkansas just did this whole thing where they're like, okay, now we're going to start playing really hard defense, and it just completely messed Colgate up, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's too bad, but it's fun to see stuff like that, and even some of these names, like, I mean, well, like they're doing well and are having a great season, but like even as a kid, you'd always see them and they never did anything, you know. So it's fun always just remembering some of the odd names and seeing how people get through and don't get through, and just the memories. I don't know. I like the nostalgia of it, even though it's all sort of young kids. But anyways, it's going to be a good few weeks, and then we roll into the Masters in April, which is also fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Slow.
That's our guy, Dan.
It was nice to see the Ohio State get the shit to bed.
Yes, Dan, Roby, you are correct.
The Ohio State hate flows through America. This is true.
Funny. That's funny. Interesting.
Oh, it really is. It really is. So I'm gonna do something I haven't done on the stream in a long ass time, Doug. Is have some hard alcohol. We're gonna have some Willet One tequila. And
Anejo, right?
I'm telling you, man, this is because the lady is a tequila drinker. Tiffany was talking about that.
Yeah, Michelle was drinking tequila flights at brunch.
Yes.
I dig it.
She's pretty hardcore about it. She doesn't really care. She just wants to. She's like me with craft beer. She just wants to try them on. Where I am a tequila snob, and I only want añejo, and you gotta go $50 or higher generally for me. And that is not because I'm a snob. It's because I want to wake up in the morning and have a day the next day. I don't want to be like zonked. And I found that añejo takes all that whatever off from me.
I call bullshit.
It's aged in oak barrel, Tiffany. It's like a bourbon barrel of tequila.
Oh, you're not winning me over with that talk either. Get those bourbon barrels away from me, you bourbon barrel folk.
Hold on to your butts. I'm not sure.
Butts. That must be Dan. Maybe.
Yep, that's Dan. All right.
I can tell this one.
Everybody's left here. I'm over here. I'm cool. I'm still my social
drive anywhere, so it's good.
Right. So you don't have to worry about your butt or Dan's butt or
whatever. Anybody's butt.
Anyway. I'm just trying to figure it out, Doug. I don't know. So, we have oaky notes, but it smells smooth.
Ba-ba-dee-ba-ba-da.
Is it smooth? He's gonna breathe fire.
It's one of those, like you know what I'm talking about. You get in, and it's like it's warming.
That's how Scotch is. A good peaty Scotch is like that too.
Oh, it's warm. It's still warming. It's not stingy.
It's like
it's not
grape on a Tuesday.
Oh man, getting some vanilla, a little bit of banana.
All right.
Yeah, and some little chocolate notes. Something.
Sure. Peanut butter. Basically,
I'm not having any more
sandwich.
It's
stuck in a barrel.
And I got some big ass beers coming. So this is, yeah. What the fuck is going on? It's my preferred. Tequila's my preferred alcohol. Believe it or not. Bring it on. Bring it on.
I like it.
Has to be aged in maple syrup for Tiffany to get excited about it.
Is that a dig at
I was actually like, oh, that's it. And then I'm like, oh wait, that's a shot. But at first I was like,
oh, it's a dig. It's probably there. Right?
It is
actually, so for the first time last weekend and possibly again on Sunday, it has been great weather here in Canada to tap the sap and create the maple syrup. So we did that last Sunday. For the
Oh,
on the hill, they tapped the trees just in front of us, so they're just across the street from us. And then we boiled down. So I think it's like 40-1. So if we boiled down a lot of shit for like all day long, and they brought us over. They had like 2 little jars like this, so they brought us a little jar over of the stuff. So we actually had maple syrup downstairs from the trees in front of their house. It was a really neat thing. So I think again, because it was really cold last night and tonight, but then it's supposed to be like we're supposed to go into double digits tomorrow. Woo! Canadian styles. That's nice. I think it'll be a good weekend again. So I think we'll do it again on Sunday. But it is a long process. Depending what I think we had a lot of heat getting lost out of the top of the containers we were using over the fire, but we just sat outside, had fire, roasted marshmallows, ate hot dogs, drank beers, and watched this syrup sap boil down to syrup. It was fun.
Come on, Bernie, let's go make some pancakes, right?
Yeah, right?
Tiffany, okay, so hold on. Before we get to our next beers, Tiffany, pancakes or waffles?
Ooh, waffles. But not like big waffles, like Eggos.
Oh, so you're going cheap. You're going like...
I don't eat a lot of
kids and shit.
I feel like pancakes are like... I don't eat a lot of that stuff, you know? I don't know if it's just me, but like I'm fussy on my pancakes. They can't be heavy. I only want like 2. And I don't know. And then waffles are like Bernie's yelling pancakes. Bernie loves pancakes. I don't know, man.
Rebecca yelling pancakes too, right?
Yeah, I guess. I think waffles. I want Eggos, and I'm also, because I'm diabetic, I have like the fake Aunt Jemima syrup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is like not even syrup. So I'm like, I get disowned by like Bernie's family and Bernie for not having real maple syrup. I'm like, I need this.
Wait. What's this shit? Pancakes with peanut butter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually good.
It is good. That's heavy. That is heavy.
Yeah.
Wait. Do you smear it on the pancake like you do a sandwich?
Put it on there, then you put butter, peanut butter, syrup.
That's some northern... I don't even want to say white people thing.
I've seen it also where they do
shit.
I've seen it also where they do pancakes. They put peanut butter, melt it, and then they put bacon and bananas on it.
Oh, you have to have bacon on your.
It's like Elvis, like an Elvis sandwich.
Right.
It's some northern shit, right, JC? I don't. What do you? Wait. Hold on, I'm still processing the damn peanut butter. Wait. So you're talking about peanut butter, bacon, and bananas?
You put bacon on top too, but they have to have bacon. I won't eat.
Y'all ruining pancakes. Y'all ruining pancakes.
Would you just have a doughy slab with nothing on it?
Yeah, fucking maple syrup. Come on.
Hey, maple syrup and butter is perfectly fine. I'm just saying there are other options, Greg. Expand your.
Yeah, well, again, there doesn't have to be, and no one should. They should all be shamed. Anyway, what is yes, I'm talking to you, Doug. What is your next beer, Doug? And you have a great shirt too. You got to show it off.
Doug's northern too, right? Doug's kind of northern, I guess. Oh, well, you're maybe more north than us.
Doug is northern.
You're more northern than us, aren't you, with your geography? Oh, it's such a good shirt.
Who, me?
I'm probably more north than Greg is. I'm not sure I'm more north than you because I don't think we're even.
But
I think we're about. Yeah, I think we're about at the same level as Detroit. So I think that's maybe a little lower. So
my nickname in high school was shut up, Dan.
Dan say? I'm always higher than you guys. Is that what he said?
What bacon, peanut butter, banana sounds insanely amazing.
Yes. I love these moments when it's something that's just like something that you've grown up on is so normal to you, and then people are like, what? But then vice versa, right? Like there's things you do and you're like, I never heard that. Like I love that. And maybe we've changed your life right now, Carrie, and you will never go back. This might be all you eat. You're welcome. Or sorry. I love it.
Peanut butter and honey?
Yeah, sure. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Hey, while Carrie and Rebecca are on, look, I don't know if you guys saw, I took a shot of this. Remember Rebecca was talking about tequila. Mm-hmm. We're talking about añejo when she was on. So I wanted to show her that I did that. I'm not doing it anymore. It was good. You guys have to do your second or show what your second is?
I'll do my second.
I'm ready to go my third beer here. This is going to be a good night.
Hey, slow down, dude.
It's going to be a good
Remember
night.
last week.
It's going to be a good night.
The Frog Abides from Hoppin' Frog.
Pies. Oh, I love that I've been to all these breweries, Doug. I feel like we're so much more closer. So fun. So fun.
Yeah. So this is flavored white stout with coffee and natural flavor added. So what's kind of cool is they had this whole thing on the side where it's like the frog, that's what you call me, you know that, or his frogness, or Frogger, or El Froggerino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Fun. Fun.
This beer really ties the room together.
Someone's gotta.
Stop hating on peanut butter.
Yeah.
I'm hating. Let's be specific here, okay? I'm
Crunchy.
hating on peanut butter on pancakes specifically. That's where I'm at. Sorry,
Don't
dude.
hate till you try it.
So this is styled as an Imperial white stout. So
Ooh, Imperial White Stout.
8% ABV.
These fucking white stouts coming back again.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's kind of a different color for.
What's weird is it actually has more of a peanut butter smell than a coffee smell. Not kidding.
I wish we had
It's your fault,
peanut
Tiffany.
butter stout in the fridge. I
Right.
don't bought it down there. I grab
Your
it.
fault, Tiff.
Not my favorite.
Oh,
It tastes like a malted beverage that they had a coffee flavor added on. And I am not a fan of malted beverages.
yeah.
Go put it in the freezer and then it'll be so cold you can't taste it and you can drink it.
Yeah. I'm really disappointed in this. I don't say that about many beers on this show. I try not to shit on breweries because sometimes they're just trying stuff. And for me, this not it.
Right. And it's not, sometimes it's weird to drink a white stout, but you know more than to be tricked by. Sometimes your brain does weird things when you're like, oh, this is so light, but it's dark, but it's this and that, right? But
Yeah, but I mean, it
No
literally,
matter.
like I said, the smell was weird. It didn't have that. It's coffee. It doesn't have any. It's not saying anything about peanut butter, and it smelled more like peanut butter. And it smelled like coffee.
right.
Yeah, that's all right. I need to. Unfortunately, it's got beer in it. I'm trying to figure out when it was canned.
You'll never know the joy of peanut butter on pancakes until you try.
Yes.
Hashtag Team Pancake or Team PB in the comments.
Look, I thought you said you didn't have the peanut butter on the pancakes. Now you did, or what?
Yeah, he's switching. That's fine, man. I like this guy. He's switching.
He's flip flopping. I don't like it.
All right. It says it's best by July of 2023.
No excuses. It's a stout. Sorry,
No.
Doug. So you've had the peanut butter on the pancakes.
What year is it?
You were trying to act like you weren't before. Oh, forget it. Anyway, Doug, do you want to go to a third beer because that was subpar?
I think I can't even. I don't even want to drink that thing after that. Like I took one sip, and that's going to be a rare sink beer where it just goes
Add
down.
ice cream. Or
Add
add
ice cream, Doug.
This is where we need Alfred Beer Trick to give us like food ideas because she would be like, do that with this, and it would work.
like drink it through a Twix bar, like Robert taught us. Ooh, damn, that'll change your stouts forever.
Yes. Also, I saw Purdue was losing to North Texas at half by a lot, so that's them going overtime. So, all right, then let's switch to this one.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna run down and grab my next beer just so I don't leave you guys. But
So,
all right, well, yeah.
Look at what that is.
And smoked
Russian Imperial Cream Stout, 16% ABV. This is when I was like, this is going to be my last one. Well, this might be my last one anyhow.
We're only a half an hour in, y'all.
Yeah, well, this one I'm probably going to have to nurse because that second one was awful. But ugh.
So really cool. They're casting us on their TV. Really cool.
Yeah, they are broadcasting us on their TV through smart TV.
Yeah. One of these days I'll do that, but I don't know how I'll do it if I'm on here. But anyway, life is too short to drink gross beer. I couldn't say it enough.
How fucking dark
That's
that is.
amazing. That's amazing.
Smoky on the nose for sure.
That's amazing, dog.
All right, so this is like a sweet Russian Imperial Stout. That's what that tastes like.
Is that a good thing?
I'm undecided yet. At 16%, it might not matter what I think of it after a few sips.
No. Is it
Wow.
what are you drinking out? Is that like fresh out of the fridge, or did you warm that already a bit, or are you letting it warm in the glass?
I'm gonna let it warm up before I actually drink more of it. But this
Yeah.
one, like I said, Tiff, this one's 16% ABV, and
Oh geez. I
So-
don't even know what.
so it's a smoked Russian Imperial cream stout.
And that
That's
somehow sounds
crazy.
really good to me. I like smoked things.
Me too. And so that was one the North Brewery, which I took Greg there when he was here, and they're
North
really,
Brewery.
yeah, they're really well known for their stouts. So like when I went and bought several of them, and I was shipping them to him and Dan Fisher, and when I was done buying stuff, he just gave me that. Here, I'm like,
Easy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, look how dirty my glass is. You.
Yay, Dirty Glass Club.
yeah,
If
you're
I
part of the
call it
Dirty
first,
Glass
yeah.
Club, Tip. That's our
If I call it out first, then you can't heckle me on the internet.
Oh, is that how it works?
But this is also my souvenir glass from Russian River. So,
Yeah.
so this is I feel like I might have drank this, not this exact one, but one before. So this is 2020. It's their Motley Crew from Bellwoods out of Toronto. This is one of my favorite beers that they do. It's a blend of barrel-aged wild ales with Ontario grapes. It's called Motley Crew. There's your label.
Yes.
What's the brewery again?
Bellwoods out of Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Very well known in town. Lots of hype.
And the names of the beers are Motley Crue songs?
So yeah, no, they're not. That's just one of their beers. So not really, I guess. But I did do. Oh no, that's something different. But that's weird. Usually the head. Look at how the head was basically non-existent on that, which is a little odd.
Yeah.
I think because it usually does linger longer. And it's so good. I don't know. I love like lambic style. I love these wild ales. I love when they're blended. I love when they take like 3 to 5 years to make. And they taste kind of weird and like gross, but also delicious. And I feel like I could sit in a room by myself and just like stare in a corner. I always say this when I drink this beer and just be alone.
Yes.
I might have to leave and just be alone and just
Yes.
stare at the wall and reminisce over life. But it's just like, it's like every sip is a story. And I can't believe I've like, this is a nice beer to age as well, but it has been in there too long and needs to get drank. So I'll let this warm up because it is quite cold.
There was a place.
It's beautiful, beautiful beer.
There's a place that we were at together, Tiffany, that reminds me of what you said, which is I just wanted to take a glass of beer and just go in a corner and like just sit there and just, and I almost did. And I don't know if we went to many places together, so I'll just cut to the chase. But it was the Vale Brewing in Virginia. It was amazing. Remember, that was the time where Joel took that picture, that 360 picture of all of us sitting around and we had all those beers together. I mean, that place was amazing. The Vale.
I remember that. I'm sure I do. The Vale sounds familiar. But I'm
Yeah, the Vale and
beer bloggers trip. So not the recent one, not when I came out to see you guys in Madison. That would have been
that was like two beer bloggers. Virginia was before Montana.
Right.
So yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, it was so good. So good.
But I'm having here's something, Doug, that a lot of people in America need, and I don't know how we're gonna get it to them, but they need some fucking knowledge. Brian Geist.
Yeah.
Just knowledge? Is that what it says on there?
It's called knowledge. I'm sorry, I can't actually. Let me.
Why do I feel like we've gotten that here before? I feel like I maybe have seen that at the LCBO. And someone, so many, you follow so many people. I get
There we go.
feel like some of those have slipped through this way.
Imperial IPA.
Oh,
Ooh.
I told you. I got this 6-pack. Or I'm sorry, I got this 17-pack
Of knowledge?
of all IPAs, different IPAs, Tiffany. And I'm drinking through them, and that was last week. That time, yeah, that.
trying to remember which one Vale. So what else is at this brewery? Now I'm like a slight concern. This wasn't on the pre-trip. I was there for Vale. Or was this on the pre-excursion before Dogfish?
I think the Veil was the same day we did the Answer Brew Pub. Remember that?
No,
was that the Allen Iverson Brew Pub in Virginia?
No. Yeah. And then remember next door was the did you go next door was the Thai place. And then they had that wonderful craft beer selection in there.
I don't think I was there. You guys did an outing without me. You might have done an outing. Where was I?
Wow.
It was
amazing. Yeah, it was probably the post excursion then.
I didn't do the post excursion.
Amazing.
Sweet. It makes you feel better that I didn't forget half the trip.
Right. Well, y'all went to that was post excursion.
Okay. Thank you. Can we get some? Yes, thank you. Facebook.
Mekong. Yes. Oh, whatever excursion it was fucking fantastic. And again, you go on these things, and then like it just all melds together. You know how this goes, Tiffany. So like the post excursion, the first excursion.
Well, we would have been drinking Vale during the conference or at some of those other ones too. So I think that's why I recognize it from being out there. But then I'm like, wait a second, I wasn't actually there. So I did have my wits about me.
We were sharing bottles. It was a mess.
Well,
this is a big, tiny Imperial IPA.
Yeah,
I don't think you would like it. Don't get extra speed.
Totally have that.
Too big.
Am I the only one who hears the Vale Brewing and thinks of Game of Thrones?
Possibly.
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm not a Game of Thrones person yet. I need to get on that.
I'm surprisingly not either. Actually, people are always shocked when I say I haven't watched that or the Walking Dead. People are really shocked that I've watched very little of The Walking Dead. But
I've only had the Double Oak Mastodon. I love the way Mastodon, great name from Ryan Geis. Have you guys had any Ryan Geis out of Cincinnati, Doug?
I have, courtesy of our boy Brock. He brought some to Dad 2.0, and I had some there. So he brourought some.
That was before the pressed ham in Madison.
Hey now. We don't have to go to the show. Oh, but I did send just because you guys know the conversation of me doing a pressed ham. So I was in this random Facebook group the other day, like of my town, or a few weeks ago, and I actually sent the chat to Joel and Dan, and it was just like a random person said something about, I want to because everyone's doing these parades for people's birthdays, right? Like it's birthday COVID, so people do parades down the street in their cars, and someone was something like, oh, I want to organize like doing a bunch of pressed ham parade or something like that. And I was dying, and like two people were like, what is that? And like everyone knew what it was around here, and I was just dying. And I'm like, see, maybe it's a Canadian thing, or like I just thought it was so funny. So I'll have to send you the screenshot of this like pressed ham conversation that did not involve me whatsoever, but I was like, oh, you guys are gonna die. It was quite funny. So it brought a laugh to Joel, because I know he's been having some harder days with his dad, so it was nice to bring a laugh there. And then
laugh, right. That's some nerdy ass shit, Doug.
I was gonna say that yes, Gary, sorry. I am that way. But Dan Bobian agreed. He said that he made that connection as well. So I don't feel quite as bad.
I was thinking that other brewery in Cooperstown does the Game of Thrones beer, right?
Yeah, it's Omegang. That's 70 miles from my house.
Right. Great spot. We'll be able to bring the trailer there.
Yeah. Have you been to Omegang? It's like a really gorgeous brewery, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. We did it. We went there and they let us do a bunch of drone stuff there too when we were there last. But that was on our way to Vermont a few years ago. But it's gorgeous spot. Can't wait to go back.
Oh, it's time for a video.
What are we watching? You're supposed to see my reaction or something to this?
Hey, I never know what they are either, Tiff. So don't. Greg just drops them and we have to react on the spot. So don't feel pressure.
Here you go. Like, see if you guys can relate to this guy.
I hate that noise.
Daniel on a donkey. Just keep pressure. Run, bro. Run back, bro. Run back. Oh, run, bro! Run! Run, Daniel! Run, Daniel! Run!
Come on.
Run, bro! Oh no, he's got it! Pressure on! Keep the pressure!
Is it a croc?
No, it's so big! It's so big, he's swallowing it!
Oh, the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing's gone down his gob!
Oh, don't
Oh,
get back down.
oh my god!
Oh,
Daniel, that was a beast of a fish!
like a 90.
Oh,
Man, you know how far in back goes back there.
I know!
Wait, did he catch a fish and then the croc came after the fish?
Yeah.
Jesus. Those things, man.
And they're in Australia. They have to be in Australia.
Run, Daniel,
Well,
run!
his accent is.
Run,
Well,
Daniel!
look, you can see
Run,
the
bro.
croc. They're coming
Run
right
back,
here.
bro, run back, bro.
You can see
Run
them, you
back,
see the
bro.
croc.
Run
See?
back! Oh, run, bro! Run! Run, Daniel! Run, Daniel! Run, bro! Oh no, he's got it! Pressure on! Keep the pressure! No! It's so big! It's so big, he's swallowing it!
That was a big ass fish.
Oh, the whole thing's gone down his gob!
That was
No,
a
it's so
look how
big!
big that
It's so
fish
big,
is.
he's swallowing it!
And spinning it back out.
Oh,
and
the whole
swallowing
thing's
it.
gone down his gob!
We were in New Orleans, and we took like a boat tour, and you go out and you feed the crocs in New Orleans. So you're on these like small boats, and you've got beers and stuff cruising, and then you feed them. It's probably wrong. I don't know. I apologize to anyone that this offends, but they would have marshmallows, but like they would know the names of them because obviously they would go to the areas and feed certain ones, but they would come right up to the boat and they would go right out and you'd be able to feed them off a stick. They're pretty amazing animals. Like, and then in Mexico, there's a lot of them in Mexico too. So there's like certain areas in Cancun that they come in, like you have to be careful on the golf courses, and there's stories of like, anyways, whatever. I have a weird fascination with, they're a big, dangerous animal.
Right.
So yeah, and then we were also paddleboarding in Costa Rica up at like Lake Arenal, and apparently there's like one or two in that lake. I don't know if it's more of a, there's been sightings, and I don't know how it got up there, but it's a freshwater gator that's up in this lake and this and that. So we go to rent these paddleboards this one day off this dude, and he literally has an eye. Was it an eye patch or a? No, it's not an eye patch, just a giant scar. So we were sort of joking that it was actually because he had fought a croc. So it was kind of a joke, but we got these paddleboards and we were literally paddling on the lake for probably like 20 minutes. My heart was like racing. I was like, we are not falling off these boards. And it hadn't been seen. The guy's like, no, it hasn't been seen in 2 weeks. And last time we saw it, it was at the other end. And it was a massive lake, but it was like the most like heart pounding 20 minutes of my life out there on this lake. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, can we go back in? But there's my short croc stories. And then I think my buddy Nathan was asking if they unhooked it. Probably chomped that thing right in half.
Oh, damn, Daniel. Right. The guy was Daniel. A boost of a bush. Did I hear that correctly? I'm not sure.
Possibly.
That water looks so dirty. Makes you wonder if it was a catfish. Run, bro, run. Right.
I bet it's going to be like carp too. Those things are freaking.
Yeah.
Scar. The guy that we got the paddleboards off of. That's right. He had a huge scar on his face, and we're just like, he's basically like Mick from Crocodile, just like renting out paddleboards, and he knew like all the legends of the crocs. And we're just like, what are we doing?
So one of the things here that one of the going things here, I don't know how much time he catches, but we always give Casey shit for a lot of reasons for being Canadian. And one of the things we give him shit for is because we believe that you guys are way nicer people than we are.
Yeah.
Generally, Americans believe that Canadians are way nicer. So if you guys are or not, it doesn't really matter because perception beats all that. So then when we see somebody in Canada acting a fool, we're almost like double taken aback. In fact, the first question I asked is that an American up there causing problems? And then the second one I'm asking, I'm like, this isn't Canada. It just can't be. So like, I don't know. You guys probably have the opposite version of us, whatever. My point is that we believe that you guys are nice. So Casey sometimes gets like all these things when we see Canadian people acting assholish, like I'm about to show you. We usually send Casey this stuff, but since you were on, Tiff,
You
Is
get
it
to be
really just a video of me
I
being
wanted to have a special Canadian on for you because we're always highlighting how crazy and dumb Americans are on this stream.
Is
Most
this
of them
me? Is
are
it a
American.
video of me? I'm concerned.
No, I'm just. This is a Canadian person, and I was just shocked when I saw it.
Whatever
really
you
was.
hear on TV is true.
Shut the up already.
You! Who the you, mother another mother COVID-19 believer? You believe everything the Canadian government tells you? This is a government system reset. You piece of garbage.
Blah, blah, blah.
Why do you think they need to go so high up above your swab?
Oh
True
my
is true.
God. Can you please be quiet, lady?
No, I can't be quiet because COVID-19 is fake.
So
Fake,
what?
fake, 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 fake. These we for one, we for two,
Maybe you should
we for
mirror.
three. Believe it's true.
Look in the mirror.
Why do you think I'm not wearing a mask? Because I don't believe in it. I have a 3.5-year-old daughter. I would rather her get COVID-19 than get a swab.
Hey, get off the bus. Shut up.
You hard mother. You believe everything that you're told.
Whatever, yo. Shut up.
Do
Get
you
off.
believe everything that you're told like a mother? Do you believe everything that you're told like a piece of
Get off. I don't need to hear you.
Yeah, you need to hear me.
All
right.
Who are you?
And so is he.
Yes.
Well, she's hammered. And we've got flat earthers here too, so
I'm just shocked, but hold on.
I'm your wake up swab.
Oh, yeah.
That's who I am.
Heard that before. That's
Yes,
better.
keep looking.
Quiet.
When you get the COVID-19 vaccine and you get side effects, laugh and remember my face. Mother,
Can you just
remember my eyes.
Buddy, drunk.
Remember my eyes. Remember those brown eyes.
Can't even point at her eyes.
Remember my eyes. You believe the Canadian government, whatever you're told. You believe whatever you're told. Demented, stupid, idiot, idiot.
Yeah, don't you get a knock now? Don't you get a knock now?
Go get the COVID-19 vaccine. Go get it.
You get off the bus.
Go get
Okay,
it. Please
but
go
off
get
the
it.
bus. Okay, yes, but get off
You
the bus.
and you and you and you and you are all are.
Yeah,
go
but
get
get
it.
off the bus. Be quiet. I don't want to
Good
hear
news.
I will get off when I want to get off, you garbage.
Enough said.
You look like a man named Chris. So you, Chris.
You look like a carrot.
You look like a piece of garbage that
That's
believes
fine.
everything the
I can live with
Canadian
myself.
government tells them.
I can live with
Oh,
myself.
wear a mask. COVID-19.
Okay, Karen.
COVID-19 is fake.
Okay, get off.
Idiots.
Okay, Karen, get off. Bye, Karen.
All right, I'm gonna mute this.
Oh.
Tell me when we're back.
Bye, she says.
Let's not revisit that one.
That was a nice. I don't know, man. We have.
That must be from Montreal.
Well, yeah.
This nut is obviously from Quebec.
Canada has its issues too. We've got our. We have racists. We have a lot
Right.
of issues with a lot of things that needs to be
I'm
fixed.
waiting
We're by
for
no means perfect.
right. Well, and that's what at the end of the day, that's what I'm talking about. Like, we just have this false perception that you guys are nice, and I think it's a good thing generally, but like, it's not because it's not real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool to have a good, positive, idea about our neighbors up north. It's great, especially compared to the neighbors down south, which we don't like at all. We don't like them at all.
Yeah,
Like, we like their food and we like their vacation there, but we don't like anything else.
Right. But you have a nice thing of us, but you never come here. You guys none of you guys have ever been here. You know nothing about our geography.
Right.
And you're like, you know nothing about us, but you think we're so nice. So you might get a little trip. So I would start with a visit to my house. You'll be treated well here. We won't yell at you and kick you out the door. I'll wear a mask if you want. I'll hug you if you need. I'll lick the doorknobs. I'll do whatever you need. But
who is this Nathan guy? I gotta have a beer with him. He's hilarious.
yeah, he's a good buddy, and he's a good buddy. Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like that's also true. Like some places have a lot more public transportation, right? We don't have much specifically. So I think like you do get things. I remember once. This is a random story, but when I lived in Whistler, so I lived out in BC, Canada for 10 years. And I remember, I don't know why I'm telling this story, but I remember riding the bus one morning and the dude in front of us just turned around and vomited all over the side, all over the back seat on the person sitting next to me and vomited everywhere. And he's like, sorry, I'm really hungover. I'm like, get the fuck off the bus. I'm like, what are you doing? Like we were howling, but I just think, I'm not saying public transportation is dirty. That's not my point. But the thing was like, I just used to always ride it there because we would go into the village. It was a lot more accessible and it got you where you needed to go. But I just had that come up where it was like all over these like cloth seats and the guy just like vomited over like 3 people and was like, sorry, I'm hungover. And I was just like, but it's like there was like the bus with no windows, so it's like the heat's blaring, you're trying to go to sleep. It's so hot, you're so hungover, and you just like vomited all over people. And I was luckily right behind him, like the safest seat possible, because I was like, I'm the only one on there that seemed to have a problem. Like, get off the next stop. Like I was like, get off the bus.
So did you yell Yahtzee?
Yeah, is that Dan? Oh, yeah, that's Dan too. I know that's Dan. Yahtzee. Oh my gosh, I would have if I had known you that. That's like my new favorite line is to say is that. So 226 days to Halloween.
And for the record, I don't know when the stream's gonna end because Doug and Tiffany got to get to some basketball watching. So and Doug's on his last beer, and I'm not trying to force him to do anything. So I have to get my third. This is my third beer.
My last beer is also a bomber, so I'll be at it a while.
This is my third beer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, it's your third. Yeah.
I'm not your.
This is a cool one for it to be my third one. Yeah. Yes, motherfuckers.
Which
goes without saying, though, right? Right. We all know what this is all about, right? Right. Tiffany, was this your last venture to America?
It was. No, it was not, because we got to do a trip last January to Portland. So I went there. I went there August 2019. So that was my first proud bragging moment. My first, I guess, international, so to America paid trip for traveling client.
Right. It was you and Bernie, right?
Yeah, Bernie and I. So we went to San Francisco, and then I extended the trip up to that area where Planny is. And there are like, not to, Russian River was fantastic. Totally was like, we spent like it was probably like on day 5 that we got up there. I spent the whole time in California and didn't even drink a Pliny till I got to the actual brew pub. So we went to the old brew pub, have our first Pliny. And then the next day we had the tour at the new brewery. Which was amazing. And there are lots of other fantastic breweries surrounding that area. Like Hen House was really, really good. And 2 others that I probably won't remember the names off the top of my head, but it's a fantastic area for beer. It's beautiful up there. It's really desert-like. We stayed at this cute little Airbnb where we're basically in someone's shed with like an outdoor shower. It was really fun. But yeah, the Pliny, when I sat down and had that first glass, like I felt like they were just like either going to throw me out because I was like so excited. Like,
right.
So I'm not the only one in there, but I'm just like, first Pliny ever. Like, we waited 5 days, like telling everyone the story about it. Sat down and it was just fantastic. And their blind pig was delicious. I didn't realize visiting there, we went the next day and had the tour at their newer facility. I didn't realize they had such a barrel program, and they showed us like we got to see the fooders there and everything too, and they have a cool ship. So I didn't realize they had such a sour program. Fantastic sours as well, but it was just such a bucket list like venture. And then learning all about like, I'm really bad at the history. Bernie's so good at remembering details, but like them talking about how they like named a hop and like the hops they use in Pliny and like how they, I don't know, name them from that area, and just learning kind of the history because you are really close to the big, I guess, organs, like the big hop area that way too. So it was kind of about a whole
Idaho, Oregon. Yep.
Yeah. And then like even them cracking, like literally he's like, we just bottled this morning, and like popping the top on something and like pouring it. You're just like, you just like geek out majorly on it. So it was a really, really, the tour guide was fantastic there. That was pre-Aloe working there, which he would be fantastic as well. But I was sad that we didn't cross paths there. But it was just such a great tour, and really lots of hospitality. And it was just one of those things that you're like, I'm actually here drinking a Pliny, and I brought a 12-pack back to with me. I flew back with a 12-pack.
Yes, and we know the level of, if Aloe was a tour guide, we know the level of the tour guides because Aloe's awesome and he knows his shit, and he's very, very personable, and he's very I don't know, he's just great. I remember meeting him in Montana, and he just walked up to me and was like, "Hey, what's up? I want to meet you." And I was like, "Dude, this is great. I love that." I wish more people were like, "Hey, I want to meet you. What's going on?" Great, wonderful. I would want to meet me too. I'm great. I got it. I never say that shit, dog. Anyway, hey, every once in a you get a little tequila in me, dog, and
we need to have more Tequila Greg on the show. I think that's the whole.
Okay. Or maybe
we need a little more Scotch Doug too.
Okay. I could drink.
Yes. Was it like that scene from the deli where, yes, I'll have what she's having? Tiffany, where you all like,
I got you.
You're all into it like that. That's a great. Whoever said that, that's probably Dan.
But a little bit more, yeah. But a little bit more obnoxious about it. A little bit more in your face, if that's possible.
Right, the Greg Washington.
That's a good question.
The Greg Washington and tequila is funner.
Big Daddy P, yeah, I like that. Agave, Daddy Agave.
So I got listen. This is if you guys, I don't think both of you saw this. This is what we were having so much fun on about last week's show. It was just too much fun, and I have to show it again. You see this, dog? This is great.
Crack-a-lackin' motherfuckers, Andrew from Jaden's Auto Sales. Ain't made a video in a while because the fucking town flooded. Rains anymore, tell you what, I'm gonna sell these hunks of shit, start selling fucking boats. Anyway, hey, beautiful day, birds are chirping, the bitches are squirting, and then fucking refunds are churning, boys. Jaden's Auto Sales. We've got cars, trucks, anything you want from $5.99 to $69.999 or whatever the fuck, I don't care. Hey, anyway, all you bitches hating on there, oh, why she talk like that? That's mean. He need to get fired. For one, I own the fucking place, so you can't fire me, so suck it, bitches. For two, you broke bitches couldn't sell pussy on a troop train. Anyway, I got cars, trucks, everything, folks. 1625 South Main Street. Give us a call, 877-289.
Yeah.
Wow, that is an ad and a half.
It's like single guy that's
he's
no.
live TikTok account.
Guy in the middle of a divorce. It's a guy in the middle of a divorce.
Fucking town flooded. Rains anymore, tell you what, I'm gonna sell these hunks of shit, start selling fucking boats. Anyway, hey, beautiful day, birds are chirping, the bitches are squirting, and then
right, like
yeah. I heard it the first time.
I missed that the first time, so I'm glad you played that to make me just initially I was like, wow, and then I'm like, yeah, no.
The birds are chirping and the bitches. We just could not stop laughing about that last week. We just could not. And then in post-production, I kept playing it over, and we were just laughing, and it just
wow.
Sorry, I was getting
yeah, it was fun. It was
messages.
fun. Bernie says no more tequila. Please
never says
I disagree. I want more tequila for you.
Bernie's he's very about More tequila.
Oh man, I gotta still finish this tiny. Man. So Doug, we forgot. We have to have time for our sponsor. Tiffany, are you ready for this?
You are now.
I'm not sure that I am.
All right, so
Long as it's not-
okay, so this is a question. We don't have to do all that the sponsor thing, but I can ask you, what have you been doing during the pandemic as far as what Traveling Pint goes? And as you see the pandemic coming out, are you excited?
Sorry, I forgot. That's what I'm supposed to have lines for that. Sorry, I got.
Yeah, whatever. No. But so obviously, I met you because you're a blogger. Are you still doing that? How has the pandemic helped you, hurt you, and then what do you see coming out of it? So that could be your sponsor.
Yeah, for sure. So with the pandemic, clearly it slowed down a lot of travel. The timing was really a little bit sad for me because I felt like I was finally picking up a lot of momentum and getting a lot of opportunities to travel a lot to the US as well within Canada. So it was a little bit of a damper on that whole situation. But saying that, I built a lot of nice relationships with people. So they've been kind of keeping in touch and we're just kind of on waiting, like on standby. So I've still have relationships that are like waiting to go to say, okay, we can promote travel again. Because I think we're just still cautious here. It's a little bit different than the US where people are like, even though we're able to travel, like technically I could, we don't necessarily in the tourism industry does not want to necessarily promote people traveling outside of where they are responsible, right? So you kind of up and change direction a little bit. I didn't produce a lot of content, and I think it's something that I could have done. There's always stories to write about. There's many trips I still haven't written about, but it's just kind of not the way I work. So it was really hard for me to kind of try and push content that wasn't natural to me. And again, we can always do better at that, but I just sort of decided to take a break. I had some other things going on in life that I had to focus on essentially. And, some things went on there and some decisions were made in other areas of my life. And I think it was just a good year off that was a little bit forced and still kept in touch with people and still, drank some beer and shared some pictures. So kind of as of January, I sprung back onto the scene a bit more, being consistent with content and had some more opportunities come up right away in the new year with everyone kind of being eager to get 2021 going. And now we're just kind of cautiously going through because I think they're talking about lockdown again, which is just nuts for us. But mind you, where I live has been lifted for a little while and not far from me is still in lockdown. So it's an interesting time to be around, but just, I still love what I do. And I do it for a reason. And the reason is just the passion behind it. So pandemic or not, I don't think it's anything that I could lose that much interest in because I love the people I meet from it. I love the opportunities I get from it. And then we just bought a travel trailer and we're ready to when the borders open and we can go across Canada, we're ready basically to plan Traveling Pint across the country, kind of US and Canada for 2022. So I think just looking ahead and trying to create a little bit of a route and some sponsorship to pull some fun trips that time. So it's weird to even look ahead a year again, but it's like, all right, this year we can kind of enjoy again with knowing that vaccines and everything are out. We're going to get back to some more normalcy, which I hate all that vocabulary, but it's going to happen. And just trying to stay, in the mood for that too. So yeah. So I think still alive and partially well, mainly well.
Yeah, it's great. And I see you're already, I think we touched on that, Dan. Dan says, tell everybody about your latest purchase. Cause if you're friends with Tiffany on Facebook, she, her and Bernie got a.
What'd you get?
Got a trailer and got a truck and.
Yeah. That was real pro. So it's it's a really small trailer. So we essentially were looking at teardrop trailers, but this one's more square. It's the same concept as a teardrop where it's just kind of a bed inside, but the bed slides into a couch, and that's all that's your inside with some storage and a TV, air conditioning, heating, hot water. And then the kitchen's actually on the outside. So you lift up the back part and it goes out and you've got your stove, like a full beer fridge, like a mini fridge, and then a microwave up top. And then you can shower from out that area. It has solar power, so you can go off the grid. It's got some pretty gnarly tires on it. And it's only 12 feet. So it tows nicely behind a truck because it wouldn't go behind your SUV. So suddenly we had to buy a truck too. But it's a pretty sweet vehicle. So we bought it brand new off the lot. They're really hard to find right now. So we really, really lucked out here with the ability to just we kind of went in and bought it sight unseen. And we're like, we'll take it. And now it's sitting in our yard. And we're trying to scramble booking camping sites, which is the most stressful thing that you'll ever do in your life. Because they're all sold out.
Right. I can't even imagine that's going to be horrible this year.
It's
Yeah, man,
interesting.
to that end, I mean, I just started looking at the idea of, Joe will be vaccinated as of next Friday. Now, granted, you have to wait some time, but we were talking about, all right, well, maybe we could do like we did last year. We basically social distance vacation in Maine. We went and rented a house and just everybody kind of went out of the house. And I was the only one who ventured out to get groceries. But so we started looking at that, and there's like nothing available because everybody's already trying to plan vacations, and it's insane.
Yeah, it's certainly changed a lot of things for people traveling more locally, but that will open up again. And
I'm a homeschooler, so I'm going to take advantage of when all you people are back at school and work in the fall, and that's when I'm going.
Yeah, the weather's well,
because all you people will be at work and back at school, at least in America. At least back at school in the fall, it needs to happen. Economy, life, all that stuff. It needs to happen. Now, are we going to be that good between now and then for it to happen? No. But that's it. It's funny. Everybody wants, this is where we're at, Tiffany, in America. Everybody wants, including for finally at this point, the person at the top wants the same as most of the people on the bottom, meaning we all want to collectively get back to normal, but it's just not going to happen because we're so, excuse my language, I don't know why I'm excusing my language, fucking undisciplined that we're not going to be able to do it. We're already showing it because we're already down in Florida, having spring break. We're already opening up in Texas, and we're all like, oh, we're already on the damn. You can go. Listen, Tiffany, this is the craziness. You can go on a roller coaster in California, but you can't scream.
Yeah, but that's been like that forever. You guys have been open for a long time.
No, but how do you go on a roller coaster and not scream? Like what the?
Yeah, but they can't. That's what I mean. They can't regulate that.
What? No, it doesn't. It doesn't compute. You either have a roller coaster and you can scream, or you can't get on a roller coaster. That's where I come from. Maybe I'm wrong.
You off the roller coaster. So if they put those rules in place, they've at least done their due diligence, right?
No, it's just a mess. It's a mess. Stop it. Anyway.
Yeah, but you guys are also way ahead of us on vaccines and stuff. So yeah, you guys are way ahead of us. Like
but I don't think it's gonna catch up though.
But now you're gonna finally send us some, so that's probably part of it too.
Joe Biden said yesterday that he's going to send you guys AstraZeneca the vaccines.
Yeah,
that's why they're buying up more. Well, ultimately, that's what has to happen, Tiffany. The rich countries have to buy and help the poor countries vaccinate so we can eradicate it from the world. The poor countries don't have A, the money, and B, the leverage that we do, because we can just buy whatever. So we need to buy that, and then we need to give it away. That's what needs to happen. I don't care what anybody else says in America. Fuck all you immigrant people who don't like immigrants and helping America and helping the world. We're helping ourselves. If the world does not get back, we can't do it either. It's a world thing. Please stop with the nonsense. Not you, Tiffany. There's a certain segment of people down here that don't get it. They'll never get it. Why is Joe Biden buying more than what we need? Because it's smart, and then because it helps people, and because we can, and because we should. Sorry. Go on.
I don't know. I don't know enough to chime in. I don't research enough on a lot of stuff, so that
I know too much.
I know too much. Answer of like.
Well,
where's that tequila again? Come on.
The easy answer for this, Tiff, is that in America we have a segment of people who want to let's help everybody and get through this.
Yeah.
And there's this section of people who take the idea of American rugged individualism,
American first,
take that and just max it out on steroids. Everybody for themselves.
We see your news. We're well aware of what's going on over there.
But that's it. We have a bunch of fucking dipshits that think that well, I'm going to get mine and you fuckers get yours, and I don't want to pay for yours. And that's not how this is going to work. If we're going to get back to where everybody can kind of just be.
No, but right, and these are the morons who want to go to Costa Rica. Oh, I wanted to overturn so I can go to my vacation in Costa Rica. Bitch, we're not going to, if we don't vaccinate Costa Rica, it's not going to happen. Anyway, sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to insinuate you didn't know, Tiff. It was just more me venting. Sorry.
My friend Rebecca gets it. No screaming on road goes. That's the whole point, right? That's like saying hold the sucker but don't lick it. Correct. Thank you. That's America though, but whatever. I was just talking to my buddy about who's an ER charge nurse. He said America's the third world country with the most advanced technology, medical technology. Yeah, it's kind of right. I don't know. I hope. I'm really hoping that we can. I don't know. We need to open these borders, Tiffany. I miss all y'all.
Yeah. It's crazy, like that it's been closed.
I don't know. The Beer Bloggers Conference is in November. I'm holding out hope for that shit. I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it probably will. It'll depend on a few things for me though about still making a somewhat safe decision to go down there, but by next year.
Are you and Bernie waiting to be vaccinated to really start hitting the road?
Probably, but I think there's even more involved in that too. Like, I don't know. It's something I haven't really thought about like too much. It's just kind of preparing, and I guess vaccinations are one way. So to me, it's more like I don't want to like. It's a lot more affordable for you guys to get down to these conferences than it is for me. So I don't want to go somewhere where things are still closed and not attainable, or just being super weird that I haven't been around the open stuff for a while. Like it's like we could travel around here, but there's so many stipulations and still rules and place that you're kind of like, well, what's the point of spending money to go somewhere and then just be like, well, you can't do this and you can't do this and you can't do this. And you're like, okay, well, then why am I here? Right. So vaccination or not, you're like, well, where's the party at? Like, so we'll see. And I'm always very last minute in everything that I do. So in that situation, it's always me being like, okay, I'm going to do this next week because I feel like it. So it's not like it's an over.
That'd be great. We could plan something together for sure, because I'm kind of like I'm really organic and last minute about things.
Yeah,
a lot of things I think a lot of times I think people rush into organizing it and they miss stuff. And I think the longer you wait, the more you can take the most in. I mean, again, you got to have some kind of like structure for sure. Yeah. There's no question, but you can leave a lot of gaps open. So with that being said, before we go, I have to hit on, and I don't think we did the last time, but I have to hit on your love of Halloween. We need to have you around Halloween. You are probably one of my most friends that is really, really strident about Halloween. You are with our friend Michelle from Virginia. Michelle, and now I'm forgetting his name, and it's really bad because I'm drunk. He's been on our stream, Doug. He wasn't on. Who is from Virginia? Michelle is Michelle and
Riley.
Yes, Riley and Michelle. And
you're on Meet My Friends, I think.
No, Riley's Riley's her last name. Now I look at ask because now that you've put me on that track, I can't remember his name either, and we should. But I know who you're talking about. Michelle loves Halloween. She does her
Michelle loves Christmas. Remember?
Oh, Christmas.
Right. She starts Christmas.
Sorry. So she
starts Christmas in like middle of November, and she counts it down.
Yeah, Hamilton.
You are the equivalent in Halloween. You are
Hamilton and Michelle.
Hamilton, Riley, and Michelle.
Yeah, that's why I said Riley.
I am sorry to them. I love them. I'm sorry. They'll see it, they'll get me. But no, but she counts down. I think she starts in November 1st. Decorating. I mean, she's just all over. And you are the same about Halloween. So how does that work in your house when there's a little resistance there, I see. And there's always definitely a back and forth to speak to that a little bit, especially for people who aren't your friends on Facebook. People don't see this part of your like public persona on your blog. So talk about Halloween a little bit and how it works in your house and all that.
Yeah, there's 226 days to Halloween this year.
See?
And we're getting, I think we got screwed.
She knows the day to the hour.
Yeah, there's a sign in my front yard. So there's a single sign posted in my front yard where I changed the numbers daily with a countdown. So it started the day after. It was like, it literally said 364 days to Halloween. So we basically like the night after, like the night the next day we tear down all the whole yard, which takes us months to set up, and then put the sign that counts down. So yeah, I'm just a huge lover of Halloween. I always have been. I probably start trying to decide a theme. Like I have
from a kid you've been?
Yeah,
like
I've always been.
It's always been your favorite holiday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just always fun. You could always, I don't know. I just always like the idea of being in costumes, creating your own costume. I always like monsters and creatures. Like I grew up with a lot. Like I'm a huge Star Wars fanatic. So I think some of this even stems from that, for the fact that I love like all my favorite things in Star Wars are all the creatures. So I try to collect like the creature side of it rather than like the people side. So I love everything about kind of monsters. As you can see, my Monster Squad poster.
So you like Jar Jar Binks?
Back. No, that is not a creature.
It is a creature, just not a creature.
Well, it's not a cool creature. Well, it's not cool. We'll eliminate that episode. I go any episode forward from 2 forward, I suppose. But
I know enough about Star Wars to ask that question.
Yeah,
anyway,
not the.
So you definitely like the Ewoks, though. Let's not front.
Yeah, I like the Ewoks.
Okay, right.
I have a whole Ewok village, and
right. Ewoks are cool.
Yeah, but yeah, Halloween's always just been a favorite, and I just love the creation behind it. I love that like gives me a chance to express my creativity in making stuff. So I make like probably 90% of my props that are out there. I have a huge graveyard. I made all the tombstones, and every year I just add to it. So graveyard's always the basis of the theme, and then I kind of shuffle things in and out every year. So summer's a great time to start. Bernie gets all crankety pants about it, but he's a good helper. And then when it comes down to like actually being October, he's a big helper in like the special effects side of it. So he loves to do like the fog, all the lights. He bought a huge projection screen, which we can basically project our whole house and make it look like all the windows are moving and like the garage of skeletons dancing. And he does like that side of it. So I've found a niche for him to be a part of it. And then I do all the gory, scary stuff. And we had a good crowd this year. So despite COVID, we still had a candy slide. We kind of made it work, and we had a good turnout considering, and it was a really fun year. The thing is, it's like October 31st, and it's usually so freaking cold here and generally raining. So if we could have like Christmas in Texas, I'd be a lot happier, but regardless. It's a big thing. And then it's fall, right? Fall's a lovely time of year. It's so great out here. We get nice weather generally September, October. Paint dries quicker in June. That's why I start then. The breweries and whatnot. So I'm hoping to get a few breweries on par with some collabs this year for October. I'd like to do a few fun Halloween brews and have them have some donations to a few charities around here and just kind of get a little bit more Halloween going. So I'm going to probably try to start a committee of like a decorating contest and stuff. So anyways, America does Halloween very well. Canada does ish, but not like America. So it's a nice.
You do it to a fault almost.
You guys
right, Doug? Doug agree with me. Yeah, we do it to a fault.
I like Halloween. I don't decorate. We decorate our inside of our house more than we do the outside
which I love. I feel like I don't do enough of that. I did a bit this year, but I feel like America decorates the inside. Like some of these people in these groups, I'm like, damn, like you decorate your house. That's cool.
Right.
So can I ask a question about Halloween then, Tip? What about, is it just Halloween or what about movies? Like Halloween, like is there a movie? I'm not talking like the movie Halloween. Are you also a fan of like horror movies and all that stuff too?
I really, really am. I don't have like the total diehard nerd knowledge. I don't have a brain capacity to have a lot of knowledge on movies. So I like even Star Wars, I'm like, I can't have this conversation that a lot of crazy fans can, but don't get me wrong, I love it. But I love horror movies. I still am also a bit of a wimp. You will rarely find me in a haunted house because I can't handle it. But I'm getting better. I scare on this end now and make people cry that I'm getting better at them. And like Sally, so I just read today that Sally, she was the only survivor on the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. She's actually going to be featured in the new movie that they're going to be producing. So exciting things like that. And I love gore. I like classic horror. So I do love the Halloween movies.
Apparently too.
Texas Chainsaw is like one of my favorite. I like a lot of old school gore that's like not overly scary. Anything with like dolls and like jump scares, I can't handle as well, but I like classic gore and horror. movies.
Apparently, you were caught watching a Leprechaun. So
I was gonna say, is Bernie effing around here? Is that true?
like the Jennifer,
Have you ever watched it? It's awful. So I watched
Jennifer Aniston's in it.
I watched not Leprechaun in the Hood. I watched that I think at Halloween, but I watched Leprechaun in Space on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I think I watched like 3/4 of it, but it's so great because it's just so great. It's so magical. But yeah, Bree's like, what are you watching? I'm like, Leprechaun in Space or Leprechaun 4 it was. But
you like cheesy horror, so you're down with the cheesy horror too.
I like cheesy horror too. I like the new stuff. Like I love Steve. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I buy a lot of his books, even though I barely read. So I'm more into movies because I'm a lazy reader. But I just bought his newest book later, and I'm like, I don't know. I love like I used to sort of hate clowns, and then I realized I hate like real clowns. I like horror clowns. So like Pennywise and It. I think those are all Shining. I love all that stuff. The remakes I think are great. I'm not a hard critic, so I don't pick them apart too much, but I like all that genre, and I love like werewolves. I like classic horror. Like I just got, or you probably saw my tattoos. I just got the Bride of Frankenstein done on the inside of my leg, and I've got Frankenstein on the outside. Like I like classic horror as well. I think Wolfman's such a good dude, and Dracula and stuff like that. Twilight might be pushing it, but classic Dracula is vampires aren't sparkly.
Yeah, agreed. What about do you remember? I remember it being really groundbreaking at the time, but it was American Werewolf in London. You remember? And just you look at it now, it's like watching. Remember, Greg? Like if you've ever seen the Terminator now, and you watch that, and it's like, oh my god, this looks terrible. But at the time, that was like, holy shit, that looks amazing. And just like the way the guy turned into a werewolf in that movie.
Oh, it's so good.
Was like great. And now it's like, that looks like Clash of the Titans bad.
Yeah. I went to Disney World Haunted Halloween Nights, and that's the one horror house we went into was the American Werewolf in London. And then I just bought this rug. It's a werewolf.
Ooh, that's cool.
At Trader Vic's. Werewolves of London. That's a song.
Yeah. Wait a minute, Trader Vic's, is that like the Canadian version of Trader Joe's?
No, I think it's just from the song. We don't have a Traders here.
Okay. For some reason, I thought that was like.
I can say it for copyright, so he's drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's.
Yeah.
It's a good
Sorry,
song.
my brain was a little slow on that. Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, about Alfred Hitchcock in general, or has something happened? Is there something new out that I should know about before I talk about it? Okay.
No, I think he's just generally asking about it.
Yeah. Like those are all things I need to revisit. So I feel like I have I feel like I have a vague memory of them as a child, and I have a lot of respect for the stuff and the birds and like all the really cool stuff. So I think I'm a huge fan, but I really would not be able to tell you anything about it because I think it's something that I really need to revisit. But no, I feel like I dig all that stuff too, for sure.
Yeah, so I tend to gravitate towards the psychological horror stuff. That's more my speed, but everybody has their things that they gravitate towards. So yeah.
Like Saw, what's a psychological horror?
No, Saw is gory. That's a different beat. I'm talking like Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of psychological stuff where it just plays with your brain. Yeah.
Did you watch her new series? I forgot. I haven't seen that yet. Called Clarice. So she has a new spin-off that I saw was out. I haven't seen that either. And then I also get nightmares really ezy. If I can't watch it like half an hour before bed. So even Stranger Things, that Demogorgon, I will have nightmares about all night long. So long as you give me a 30-minute buffer before I fall asleep, I'm good. But otherwise, Bernie wakes me up like scream, like I'll be screaming, and he knows now, and he wakes me up sooner. I'm like, okay, sorry, I want to go back to bed. It's like reoccurring nightmares. Birds.
What's the one Alfred Hitchcock where they killed someone and then they put their body parts in the walls? What was that? Alfred Hitchcock is fucked up.
I'm not
Like,
as well versed in Hitchcock.
No, I'm not as
Hitchcock
much
is
as I should be.
fucked up.
I'm gonna get
The
into that.
Crow, that's just fucked up, man. Like that's what when you talk about psychological. I don't know if I can fuck with that psychological shit. Like it's easier for me to fuck with the dumb he's coming after me with a hacksaw. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a lot easier than Hitchcock. Hitchcock is fucked up.
Yeah, that's stuff will mess with your brain.
That's almost like Twilight Zone is not as fucked up as Hitchcock.
But
Twilight Zone can be as fucked. Oh, and Edgar Allan Poe. That's another fucked up motherfucker too. That's just crazy.
Yeah, that
scares
was
me.
Telltale Heart, where it was buried in the house. And stuff.
Oh, is that okay? So that's Edgar Allan Poe, right?
Oh, I thought that originated on The Simpsons. Wasn't that the diorama?
Oh, the fucking.
Just kidding.
Okay, you almost open up a whole night. If we were talking Simpsons, that's another hour and a half. Cultural impact, where they use history, the way they use old writers, the way they use pop culture. I mean, The Simpsons is just fantastic. It's one of the best shows ever. I don't think people will appreciate how good that show is until it's over. And even then, I don't even know if people will get it. It's just so many levels. I don't know. The Simpsons is, I don't know. You just open up a whole can of worms.
I had earrings. I had a Bart Simpson telephone. I had all the gear as when I had a mullet and just all the Bart Simpson gear as a kid.
The Simpsons are just man. Yeah. So we have opinions here about my level of buzzness.
Greg, you drunk? Drunk.
I'm not gonna argue. I did open up a Good City double IPA though.
Oh, here we go.
Right. Listen, people forget I got a good tolerance level. I go to all these things. I drink all day. I rarely. You guys see, especially
vote below.
It's been a while since
vote below. How's this tolerance level? I believe you. Before I moved on. To go. Maybe I don't know if there's any basketball. That's not overly important to me. But how I feel like around here, how are your breweries doing? And you guys just specifically local with everything. I feel we've had nice community support, and I mean I know people are suffering around here too, but I think a lot are doing well as well, and it's nice to see. So do you think? How are your local ones doing? Have they really adapted to the changes? I'm just kind of curious over there too, if they've done a lot more online. Here, everyone started to have to create this online business, which wasn't really there before. Did you guys have that, or is that
Doug, I'll jump on this quick and then I'll quickly.
You.
As far as Wisconsin goes, where I'm at, you're right, Tiffany. A lot of them have shifted really, really fast to the online. Unfortunately, Wisconsin is just going to pass a legislation this week that we can have to-go cocktails. So they've taken.
Okay, yeah.
But hold on, Tiffany. They've taken a fucking year to do it. This shit should have been done last time this year to really help anybody. Hello. So in Wisconsin, there hasn't been that many
tequila to go, Wisconsin.
Right. Even
what's it tequila sunrise?
Or even margaritas to go, or anything to give these people an opportunity to sell their wares in a different way would have been helpful a year ago. They're starting to do it now. Get the hell away from me. So long story shorter, there haven't been that many closings, Tiffany. But I do a stream on Wednesdays called Badger Beer Hour where we focus on Wisconsin beer.
Oh, and yeah.
After we got off the stream, I'm not gonna call the brewer out. You guys can find out who it is because you can just go back. He talked about how the problem is because we asked him, he's like, what do you guys think is gonna happen? And I'm like, I think we still have problems ahead. And he's like, right. And the reason he said that is because there's a lot of brewers who took out loans to get through to this point. So if there's any setbacks like you're talking about, any more shutdowns or any more in heating people can't be in their bars or their breweries, it's going to be trouble. So what we're going to see here in America is, unfortunately, once we really start opening up, once people start opening up, they're not going to be able to pay the bills that got them through the pandemic. So I absolutely see we're going to see some more, let's say a lot of small ones maybe go under because of those bills, and they're not going to be able to pay them.
The storm's
because,
over, but not over, right? Like,
well, there's going to be
we've rarely been over. We just opened again that you can sit in the tap room, but it's still limited. And again, that's only in my area. Like I'd say half of Canada, you can't sit in a tap room still.
Right. And there's two things going. There's one, how much can people be open and all that? And two, the real factor is how many people are going to feel comfortable coming back. Like, that is the real key, is how people feel. It's not really about like how much they open. They can just, in America, they can all say, swing it all open now, it's cool. But I can tell you now that 100% of America is not going to go back to just doing that, whether you're vaccinated or not. It's just not going to happen.
But
so
we
like,
have things in place too. So like we go back now, you're signing in, you're giving your phone number, you're wearing a mask when you're not standing, you're sanitizing. You're only, and sometimes it's only slots for a certain amount of time. So there is still a lot of legislation here for when you are going back, which makes you more comfortable. Part of me is like, okay, I don't mind going out now because you're not allowed to change tables. You have to sit with who you go with. You have to wear a mask when you're standing. And you have to sign when you go in, so you know who was there at the same time of you if anything happens. Like there's a lot of guidelines in place, but then it's away a little bit of the enjoyment too. But it's still important to support locals.
Yeah.
I don't mind going in, or again, just grabbing some beer to go, right? But
Doug?
It's interesting.
Yeah, we don't have very many microbreweries here where I live. Where I live, there's I think 6. Literally.
Okay. Well, that's still more than me. Well, depending on what the vicinity.
No,
is.
I mean I'm talking within a half hour's drive.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I took Greg to mostly all of them when he was here, and none of them have shut down, which has been great.
Awesome.
What's interesting is your idea of how in Canada they do you go in, you sign in, you give your number.
Mm-hmm.
They won't do that shit here.
Mm-hmm.
You have too many yahoos yelling about their freedoms and don't want to give you your number. And never mind, that's good for contact tracing. That's exactly what that's for.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you're not going to make me wear a mask, Doug.
Yeah, that's fair. But I'm like Jill and I were actually having this conversation today about like I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about like anxiety of going back to normal.
Right.
So like,
right.
Your level of anxiety of going back out to when normal, like restaurants. I'm not going back to restaurants for a long time.
Right.
It's not that I'll order from them and I'll bring it home. I'm not sitting in their place.
You're still supporting too, right? For the most part.
Right.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where I want to support local businesses as much as possible, but I also am not comfortable sitting there for a while. And it's not the case. And
with the vaccine too, by the way.
I'm vaccinated. I have both. I'm good.
By the way,
I'm still not going to do it.
Yeah, you did get yours. That's right.
Right. So there's even this hesitancy of going back. Sorry, Doug, to cut you off. Of going back with the vaccine. I just wanted to make sure that was exercised here for sure too, because again, there's that angle too.
Well, my worry is more that I can still possibly give it to somebody, even if I'm in a restaurant or a brewery or something like that. So like, I'm just like, the breweries are a little harder for me because I'm
not trying to get in the woods, but I'm not sure which one you got, and that's why I'm not trying to get in the weeds. But they said this week that most of them won't transmit. Just so
that's great. That makes me feel better. I had the Pfizer vaccine, so that's what I had. My parents,
pretty sure that's the one.
Yeah, so my parents are getting Moderna, which
whatever.
God damn, I can't wait till they're vaccinated. I haven't seen them since 2019, so I'm jonesing to see my parents and my brother because they're all immunocompromised. I can't see them because I just don't want to risk getting them sick.
And your brother had a stroke during COVID.
Yeah, it's like
brother had a stroke during COVID, right?
Yeah, my brother. No, it was right before COVID hit, and he had a major stroke. Okay. So he's
close though. It was close.
Yeah, so it was close enough. It was December 2019 when it happened. So, it's something where I like the idea. What's your level of anxiety? Like, I think we discussed it kind of a little bit, touched on it, but like, Greg, I know yours because you are more cautious than even I am. And but the idea of like Tiff, how are you guys managing the idea of you're able to get? You said you're a little more comfortable, but is it something where you just be like, eventually, how close are you to being like, I'm in a restaurant, I'm vaccinated, great, and are you going to be okay with that? Are you still a little hesitant? How's that work for you?
Well, no, it's sort of different because we live in a really small town here. So like we just went out tonight to the barbecue place that's open, and that's kind of the only place we go. And we sat at the bar because they always seat us there, and it only fits 2 people. And we sit on our own and we have our dinner and beer and go. Like I'm a bit of, you know what? It's day to day. Like somebody say, because I'm also diabetic, so I want to be. The last thing I need to do is to get really sick, right? But I'm also, I don't know, like I'm a bit of both worlds. Like I feel like when we go out, if it's just us going out for dinner, you're not really socializing with people anyways. I'm washing my hands when I go in there. They make you sanitize. I wash my hands before I eat. I wash my hands after I eat. I go home and I sanitize. And you're wearing a mask. Like it is what it is. Like I don't want to be that. I'm certainly a believer, but I like to think I feel casual most days, but then some days I get really weird. So I think it's just that you get so used to spending it one way. And then I'm like, okay, I go where it's more our friends working. So we go that we can talk to the servers because they're our friends and we're like, hey, and it's kind of like you get to see people, right? But we're not going, out to a lot of other places. Maybe we're not trying new places, right? But I'm still happily going to go to like Flux down the road and Paris Brew Co, the one in town, and sort of the ones around us too, because I know that those guys are actually following the guidelines, and whether we like it or not, everyone's just doing it. So I'm not that anxious to go out, but that's different. In the US, I would be, because I think there are less people that, it could be population based too, right? But more people that don't care. More people, like I haven't seen anyone here throw a fit for not wearing a mask. I know it's happening, but like I haven't witnessed it, right? So you feel a little bit safer in those situations too. But then you're at the grocery store and you see someone do something and you're like, oh God. And you're like, just wash your hands after. You're like, all right, don't look at that person. And why did you see that? And you move on with life. Like you can't live one way, but you can't live the other way either. So I don't know. I run in the middle, and some days I get a little bit more worked up, and I'm like, I need to do my part, because I also don't want to find out that I did something carelessly. I think that's more where I carry my accountability. Is I don't want to find out that I did something and be like, oh my gosh, that was me, and now I have to go and tell like a few people. Like I think it's sort of that accountability, and that's what you sort of think. Okay, am I doing my best? And I believe I'm doing my best, and we still will, go across the street and see the neighbors. We just stay our distance. We go and visit the same couple people that we usually see, and we keep our distance. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm a very social person, and I'm going to lose my sanity if I don't do what I need to do, where other people are happy with staying in the house. And good for you. You do you, I'll do me. And another year, hopefully this will be more behind us, right? So
I'm a big extrovert, and this year has been
it's hard. I go through. I don't know, man. It's hard.
Well, this is why you have your Friday stream, Doug.
This helps, Greg. I don't think you understand that that's actually true. It really has helped me tremendously. So, Greg, what did you put in that little taster glass there?
Oh my God!
I put Good City.
Oh, it's still that one. Okay.
Blah 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 blah. But anyway,
yeah, we're running like an hour and 45 minutes.
I wanted to make a point before we let Tiffany go, which is one of the things that makes America great, and I don't mean that in a political trying to bring back bullshit way, is our diversity, but it's also our diversity in location. But that has worked against us, in my opinion, in a societal way, meaning that we haven't really given people the benefit of the doubt, like we're talking about with Tiffany, like about where you live. Like certain people have to do certain things in this country with the virus where they live. If you live in South Dakota, like my friend Charlie O'Hare, he lives in South Dakota.
Oh no, it's Greg Clapp is his birthday today. Sorry.
Greg Clapp, happy birthday. Is that his birthday today?
Yeah.
Greg Clapp, happy birthday. Shit. Anyway, Greg Clapp lives in Milwaukee. He has a different situation than my friend Charlie O'Hare, who lives in South Dakota. Charlie can be a little bit looser. Actually, maybe not, because his governor sucked. But my point is that like each location, Tiffany, lets you be different. And like, so Doug was able to go to Maine. Was I jealous of Doug? Yes. Do I love Doug? Yes. It was a great yes. Was it good for his family? Yes. Did I judge Doug? No. Should I judge Doug? No. Did he catch the coronas and pass it on? No. So then, like, my point is that, like, everybody has, it's all location based, Tiffany. So, like, unfortunately in America, we got to this point to where, like, and we still are there, where people are just judgmental, like, what are you doing and how are you doing it? What are you traveling? Like, I just still don't feel safe where I'm at. So I'm just going to do what I can. And Michelle's fantastic. You already met her. She's great, but she works. So she's like, look, I go out. I'm the person who's going to possibly get infected. So let that be one person. Not unless I have you go out. If you don't need to go out, I'll just go out and I'll do it. And I'm a nurse and I'll triple mask and I'll get all of our groceries because that's what you did. This is what her saying to me. That's what you did.
I'm not laughing at you.
Dan's
texting me. I'm not laughing at you.
No, but she's like, that's what you did for us. The past 15 years, I used to go out and do all the groceries. I used to do all that. She pissed at the curbside. Anywho, my point is, it's a location thing. And, like, you just can't, people can make their own decisions, and you should just be happy. Like, you guys are thinking this out. And I love you guys. You're thinking it out. So you're going to be safe. Doug's thinking it out. Doug's already thinking it out. He's like, I'm going to take my family back to Maine and we're all going to hide. And then he looked on Airbnb and was like, shit, we're not doing that this year. So we're going to go somewhere else. But,
That's
like,
true.
right. But my point is that you're being safe. So, like, as long as everybody's trying to be safe in their own thing and not try to spread this or prolong it, I'm cool. If you're trying to prolong it and you're going to spring break and fuck the coronas and I'll get it if I get it and who cares if I spread it and all this other bullshit, fuck you, and fuck you, because you're really, really prolonging it for the people who are doing the right thing, in my opinion, which is all of us. Again, you go out and you respect people, you wear your mask. I don't really care. I just don't. It's just not for me. But people need to do that because we need to save our restaurants. We need to save our breweries. We need to save our bars. These are people's incomes. Man. So
yeah.
Right. So, like, I'm almost like, I cheer the people who literally go out to the breweries and the bars, and I feel good. Go, wonderful, be safe, and let's support these people because we need to. They're not going to make it at the end. And a brewery too, Tiffany. Man, before I let you go, but I learned this again 2 days ago at my Badger Beer Hour, talking to a brewer, and he's like, look, it's just not about me. I have 5 families that are supported by my brewery. And people just don't understand. Like, it's 5, but it's 5 that I care about. I care about all those people. I care about their kids. I care about their family. I care about their wives. And, like, people don't get that. Like, it's just a brewery, but it's a small business, and we're also supporting people's lives.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also need to. Who's supporting me?
Right. So it's a real balance.
Yeah.
Right. It's a balance, and right. So then that's the tough part. So it's good to hear that you're out there and all that. And Tiffany, we should let you go. Otherwise, we'll go another 2 hours. We are going to have you back though. If I can, maybe September. October's hard to book you because you do all kinds of shit on October Fridays. We already talked about this, right?
Yeah,
am I wrong?
We could do like the first. I think you were close to Halloween last time, and I think I wanted to say yes, but I was like, I can't do this. I'll be too stressed.
Right?
But maybe
No.
we could do like the first weekend in October.
Cool, because I wanted to get you back to talk about Halloween.
Everything up. Like the yard will be set up ish,
right.
So we could talk about that.
I want you to talk about Halloween, like food for Halloween, all kinds of different things that you can tell us that we could work into something.
Google that. I'm not making you dinner. I'm just kidding. I got you.
But I don't know. So something like late September, early-ish October?
Yeah. Sounds good. Excellent.
Any last things you want to say before we get out of here?
No, just it's been a rough week. Just to end on a sad note too, we've lost a person that was a big part of the beer community here in Ontario, and then someone else today that I know has passed. I just think we need to remember to be kind to each other, tell everyone that you do care about them a little bit more often, and just remember to be kind and do better and just keep moving through every day, because it's shit world, but it's also still a wonderful world. So just sending out a kindness message.
Oh, I love that.
Sending on a not a buzzkill note, but just remember
No.
it's been a week. So sending out love and empty glasses to all of you out there. Oh, there's a swirl. There's a little swirl in here. So to all my friends far and wide, and the ones I don't know yet that maybe one day we'll be friends.
All right, Tiffany. And do you want to talk about the two or three beers that you had tonight?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Me? No, I already did.
Okay.
Queen of Crafts, these badass babes out of Guelph. They collabed with Alora. Queen of Crafts, worth looking at. They do wonderful fundraising and help a lot of women in Guelph area. And then Motley Crue. I love to bring this one on the air.
Mm-hmm.
Barrel aged wild ales, mixed barrel aged. Bellwoods, Toronto. Just dose tonight.
Tiffany, love you.
Love you guys. Good to see you.
Love you. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you. We will see you in early October, late September.
Sounds good.
Stick around if you want. Doug, what you have? What's going on?
All right. So I'm going to go through my beer. It's going to be quick.
Oh.
That sucked.
Hey.
Again, I don't, it tastes like a malt beverage that it was supposed to be coffee with the extra flavors. It smelled and had a peanut butter taste. It was really weird. Sorry. I took one drink of that and didn't drink any of it. So not my jam. Number 2 was this guy. It actually, as it warmed up, it was better. The sweetness dissipated. It wasn't quite as sweet. Still too sweet for my taste for smoked. Like I didn't get as much smoke flavor out of it as I wanted. It's a smoked Russian Imperial cream stout. Definitely a stout. Tastes like a sweet stout to me. A little bit of smoke flavor, not enough for me personally. If I'm having a smoked beer, I want the smoke to be very prevalent. The winner for me was the Brotato Hazy IPA.
What?
There. Yeah.
What?
It was. Now, I'm going to say this was not a great beer, but in comparison to the other two I had, this is the one I think was the best.
Oh, Doug, you had a little night, man.
Yeah, and this was not bad. It just wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting a smoked stout, and it turned out to be a sweet stout that was slightly smoked. So yeah.
So real quick though, smoke. I don't know if smoke and stout necessarily go together. Actually, what do I think about this?
Yeah, I think you're better off doing a smoked porter.
Yeah,
that works much better.
Right.
You know, it's the Alaskan smoked porter that is like the kind of the Schlenkla, which is like a German or a Czech smoked beer. I'll bring that. I have one in my fridge. I will bring it on. It is a smoke bomb and it's delicious.
Love it. So Rebecca didn't miss that I just said good city, blah, blah, blah. Right. It was a good city something. Actually, I'll jump into it right now. Daniel, great guest, great show. Yes, Tiffany is
awesome.
Man, Tiffany is oh my God, that's good shit. So I will start with the worst and then go to So the worst was this Knowledge double IPA from Ryan Geist. It will probably be the best one that you drink. It was good in the context of all this, what I had going on. Not so much. So then, this one here was number 2. I've lost interest. A pale ale with citrus and mosaic, fantastic. Love it. Number 3 was this good city, blah blah blah. As I said to Rebecca. It's a double IPA, more on the juicy side. I'm still having it here in my Delta beer glass that I got today. Did a curbside for Delta, but their beers did not make this one probably next week though.
Yeah, I have some of your Delta Beer Lab stuff you sent me. Then if so, maybe I can have one while we're having our show next week too.
Yeah, and I gotta get you. It's a mocha stout and a mango ghost.
What?
I gotta get you both. Yeah, I gotta get you both.
Yeah, you sent me their raspberry gosa, which is I didn't even open yet, and I want to. I just was like, I had these other ones because one was a hazy IPA, and I didn't want to wait on it. So
yeah, and I don't know, Doug. We may need to look into this, but I think I don't know. Like when I get a ghost, I kind of like I'm like, oh, I can wait. I don't know if we can wait on ghosts or not. We maybe need to do some research.
And IPAs, just not they're
For
not
sure.
like
Right.
stout, but yeah,
right. But what I would be afraid about a ghost is that that flavor dropping off. So like if it says mango ghost, I will be concerned about the mango dropping off after a couple of months. So like we almost have to like I don't know because you're a ghost fan and I'm like picking them up just because I'm starting to see them now and I like the sour bite as you already know. But I'm a picky ghost person. I'm a picky mother. Anyway,
pickier than I am.
Oh, I am a picky ghost. Yeah. You can almost call me a bitch actually on that. Really though, it's cool. It's cool. So then, now, did I say third is the good city? Blah blah blah. And I don't mean that in disrespect, but it was it's an
what was it? Double IPA. Wow.
Okay. A lot has been going on tonight, so I'm not sure if I can pick the oak out. Because what's been going on is I had this tequila, which is number 2.
I like how you're like a lover.
So the lady did the first time tonight a curbside at Total Wine.
Really? That's cool. We don't have one here. I wish we did.
We do. So then she's like, Total Wine, do you know about it? And I just gave her like,
yeah, there's like a million things there.
Like she's like, oh my god, it's great. Blah, blah, blah. But she's like, the thing that like she loved about it was like, she's like, oh my god, to do curbside, so we just do whatever, pick your beers. And then I'm like, I just don't like them for beers because. And then I explained it to her, and she's like, oh, I got you. Yeah, but
for liquor,
yeah, right. I was going like tequila. So then she sent me I looked at the list and picked this up or I don't know. I didn't even know she was going. It just showed. I went upstairs to get my Delta, and this is there. And I was like, oh, so we're gonna have some tequila tonight. But it was Total Wine. Listen, I don't think you should go there for beer because we've heard a bunch of shit about people buying beer from there and it not being it being old, Doug.
Yeah.
So, right. But as far as liquor goes, their list was easy. I could pick an añejo. I was able to like sort it out and like look at them all real quick, and then I sent it to the lady, and all of a sudden she was there. I guess we needed tequila that bad. But my point is that like it was really cool for liquor. I still would not suggest it for beer, but that's just me personally. But that's because I've heard from all of you. I mean, when I say all of you, I mean all the people who are in Daddy Porter or whatever. You guys have said over this past year the pros and cons about Total Wine, and I don't know if you've heard this too, Doug. Okay, sorry. I got you.
Drinking water.
I've been a bad time. No. But you've heard about Total Wine, what I'm talking about, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, I think it's mostly that like their stuff can be out of date because they're not really concerned about making sure it's date appropriate, especially like if you're getting IPAs and things like that, you need to make sure that the date's right. I fucked that up as we have seen on the show.
Total Wine?
No, just in general.
Okay.
Total Wine.
You don't have Total Wine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying we don't have that here, but I'm pretty sure if you're going to do curbside, they're not really going to be concerned about the date on the can. Just be like, you need that, you need that, you need that. Great. Throw it in your thing, and here you go. So,
all right, Doug. I'm going to let you go here soon. Thanks for coming back, and we missed you last week. Yeah. I'm looking for who is next week. Oh, next week, Doug. Next week is our friend Renee Pickup.
Yes.
And she has this. She has this Pink Floyd series of fucking songs or stories, right? Is that what?
Well, that's part of her Cult of One Media thing. So we're going to have to definitely discuss that through her.
Yeah. Right. And we're going to get into all the shit that she's into. And yeah, Carrie says before we drop, totally definitely want to check the date. They stock so many, it's impossible to keep them all fresh.
Yep.
Right. Carrie, this was my problem with Hopcat Madison. Period. That, and now that they're out of business, I can talk shit on them. It's cool. That and every time you went for a beer, Doug, you ever go to these places before we leave? You ever go to these places where they pull the tap and it's all like foam, and then they just let the tap go, and then like they're like trying to pour beers off of all the foam, and then they put like a pitcher there, and they just don't have their fucking like their
shit straight.
Yeah, so they just waste so much beer, and then like 6 months later, oh, they're out of business. Well,
now you know why.
Oh, these lineups are fire. Yes. So yeah, we'll have Renee pick up next week. We have Lauren Yee the week after, Doug.
And Gabby, I think, don't we have Gabby with her as well?
Lauren Yee and Maddie. Absolutely.
Gabby.
No, yeah. And then we have
15% beer, folks.
Yes. We have Amanda Dybert.
Yes.
After that then we have
gotta be awesome.
Then we have Rick Dodora. Then we have Kern. We're coming into
our lineup coming. And folks, if you haven't looked up Amanda Dybert, look her up. She's done comic books for Star Wars, and just that's a guest that I was really lucky to book.
Carrie Hopcat. Oh man, I got opinions. Okay, so Carrie is May 7th.
Well, Carrie, hold those opinions because we're gonna hammer you on them when you come on.
Right. And the thing too about Carrie is gonna be fun. He's not in the beer industry anymore, so hopefully he can drop some things on us about the beer industry because he doesn't care anymore because he's in the coffee industry, which is amazing, and I can't wait to talk about that shit. I love coffee.
Me too.
Coffee's my equal, man.
So this is gonna be fun.
Absolutely. Doug, we need to end the stream, bro. But we don't need to, but we're going to. Have fun with March Madness. I'll see you next week with a guest that you brought to us, Renee Pickup. Gonna be fun. She brings a lot to the table, so I can't wait.
Yep. Later, man. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.